For more than 6 decades, Spring Branch ISD has been a smart place in Houston to live, learn, work, and raise a family. District and trustee decisions have shaped our priorities, from small neighborhood schools to quality services and programming and hiring the best teachers possible. And we've always taken a conservative approach to taxes. We have a strong commitment to preparing students for technical certifications, military training, and 2- and 4-year college degrees, which we call our T24 goal. Spring Branch has always defined what it means to be a premier system for public education. Today, however, students in Spring Branch face a major barrier to future success: a flawed and outdated state school finance system that siphons away millions of local tax dollars and that doesn't provide the resources our students need. While the SBISD tax rate hasn't changed since 2010, your tax bills are rising because of property value increases. And while you'd think that your local property taxes go directly to educate our students and to pay our teachers, a growing percentage of your tax dollars do not stay in Spring Branch ISD. SBISD is considered property wealthy. That means a significant amount of local school taxes actually go to the state as recapture or Robin Hood payments. These ever-growing recapture payments bring new revenue to the state. In turn, the state is able to decrease the amount it spends on public education from other sources. In other words, the state uses your tax dollars to supplant funds it would otherwise allocate to public education. This year, Spring Branch will send $66 million of local taxpayer dollars to Austin, which is more than double the amount that we sent last year. This payment equates to 22% of local school property taxes paid by our taxpayers. The Texas Supreme Court wrote that the school finance system, while satisfying minimal constitutional requirements, is Byzantine and undeniably imperfect, with immense room for improvement. Indeed, the court stated that Texas school children deserve transformational, top-to-bottom reforms that amount to more than Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid. Spring Branch faces current challenges that many property-wealthy districts do not, such as more than half our students are economically disadvantaged. A third of our students are English language learners, and the majority are at risk. We fully embrace the diverse needs of our students, but that means we need specialized programs and resources to support all of our students, no matter how legislators decide to fund schools. But ironically, our current state funding system penalizes property-wealthy districts like us and limits the investment we're able to make in our own kids and our district's future. This year, Spring Branch used a modified zero-based budget process to identify central office efficiencies and stops, but budget warning signs remain. Today, salaries for our teachers are lagging behind neighboring districts. Due to ongoing and future budget concerns, this year's trustees were unable to provide a raise in pay for employees, but instead provided a one-time salary supplement. Financial projections indicate that without changes to the current state funding model, SBISD may face a deficit of $17 million next year due to a ballooning Robin Hood payment of more than $90 million. The Texas school funding formulas were designed in 1984 and have not changed significantly in 3 decades. These formulas are more than 30 years old, yet they have never taken inflation into account. It's time for Texas to invest more in public education and to allow Spring Branch ISD taxpayers more direct access to their local school tax dollars. Now is the time to demand that the legislature reform the funding model for public education. We need state formulas to reflect the needs of all Texas students at today's costs, not the cost of 30 years ago. We need our legislature to revisit Robin Hood when more than 20% of your tax dollars are being sent to the state, even though more than half of our students are economically disadvantaged. We ask that you, our parents and taxpayers, stay engaged during the upcoming legislative session. Here's how. Review the legislative priorities set by the Spring Branch ISD Board of Trustees. Write and call your state legislators and the education committees in both chambers, asking them to update the funding formulas and to keep local tax dollars under local control. Look for and support local advocacy groups, such as Spring Branch Speaks and your local PTA. Regularly visit the SBISD website at www.springbраnchisd.com for updates. You can also engage with us on Facebook or Twitter at SBISD #SBCrossroads, or email us at schoolfinance@springbраnchisd.com.